Welcome to Life by Design. On today's edition of the show, we'll continue with the series Nation by Design. And we've been promising and saying we will take this election, not just from the result from the election, governance and democracy, not just start with election done. It's just one beat and one way for continue for look at what we can continue for do, explore initiatives, and we're going to make this week country great again. We also then call and say people may call on the Athens of West Africa or even Africa. How can we make a country great again? Today on the show, I'll be talking to development expert Dr. Dele Jones. We've done a study, but economic sociology for we country for long term now, and this time it gets a proposal from to the new government on how we go able to transform this we country in a few short years and actually make we country great again. All this to come to you on today's show. I'm Joe Abbas, and this is Life by Design. There has been a recurring theme in our country. We don't hold 5 elections then, where you could call democratic elections. From the 1996 elections where now being proportional representation, now we've been do. We begin bounce back and begin join the nation them where we go call democratic nation in a multi-party democracy, if you like. And we also don't able to achieve one major thing where we don't change government 3 terms. The party with a rule the country. So first it was SLPP 1996 to 2007. Then SLPP was voted out. We brought in APC. APC ruled for 10 years, 2007 to 2018. APC gone out. We don't bring SLPP. Come back, and it's a major achievement we've made as a nation. A major achievement we've made because we don't prove to the ruling people, whoever can govern this country again, say the people get power, you can never take the people for granted. We get the ability for change government when it suits the people as a part of their democratic right. All best for taking up this issue again post the elections, but somebody way after the 2012 election, being so join me now this show as we talk about the Nation by Design series and propose several things that we've been supposed to be able to do for make we country great again. Doc, welcome to the show.
Abbas, nice to be here.
You know to train general Life by Design.
Indeed.
Let's talk about a bit about Dr. Dele Jones. And you're a promoter for the inclusive national conversation for constitutional, economic, and cultural competitiveness team.
Correct.
Since 2013.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed, yes.
And an expert in economic sociology of national competitiveness,
right.
Which is specialized doctoral research on the Sierra Leone context.
Correct.
Now you write your doctoral thesis
yes.
on. And think this organization get about 11,000 members them way Dana Salon and also
around the world,
all over the country.
Yes.
And you say you've been at the Constitutional Review Committee, and you were appointed to the Constitutional Review Committee early 2013, but then you had to resign in
January 2014.
January 2014.
Yes.
We'll talk about that on what happened. But you are a DBA, Doctor of Business Administration,
correct.
Edinburgh's Business School, 2012, and you researched at the role of social, cultural, and symbolic capital in generating national competitive position in Sierra Leone.
Correct.
You have an MSc also at the Edinburgh Business School. You're a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. I don't know if you're a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants Sierra Leone.
Absolutely.
You used to be. I don't know if you used to.
Well, I like putting seminars still.
You got the experience include the Gambia, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Kenya, Mali, Senegal, United Kingdom, and Singapore.
Correct. Yes.
It's from 2013 to 2018. This is 5 years after we were last looking at Nation by Design.
Yes.
And you mentioned something earlier that you can either get a nation by accident or a nation by design. Tell about that. What's the thoughts then they come on?
Well, I want to take you back to 1967. Around the time we were going to get the problem with the election. Around that same time day, Singapore, where we know today, that small country in Asia, we just get independence 2 years. And they be one for new business people and for do with business with. So the Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew come Africa, it's all about African country in the late 60s. They find people and for do business with. Where they left, he writes in a book about how we make Singapore first world. By 2000, they don't make Singapore first world country. Now in book way, right, but how we do them. They tell me why I never come back to Africa. They say, when they don't visit in Africa, they realize, say, we people them, they try for develop with rules that we make for ourselves. We now use the rules where the world don't make for everybody. So it not getting for us.
So instead of that, that's the problem with Africa.
Now starting to consider. Because we they try for make we own rules
for
reinvent the wheel where the rules already there how for develop. Well from that end day, they don't prove say we went by accident to make we own rules and anyway follow the rules where say they already for how any country for develop. Well around that 10 days Singapore and Salon are about the same level of development. Not much different. Right? Today, Salon, with one whole economy, if you put all the iron ore thing we'll get inside, now $4 billion for 6 million people.
With GDP?
With GDP, yes. $4 billion, the one whole economy value for 6 million people. Right? Well, if you see them, less than $1,000 for each of we. Right? Mm-hmm. Well, Singapore, now the same 6 million. Well, I ask me, son, 2 weeks ago, almost you think say Singapore they own GDP now. They say if not 12 billion, I say but boy they joke. They said daddy if not 30 billion, I say but boy they joke. I say multiply them. They said hey daddy. They said 200 billion. I said no, it's small. Now 300 billion United States dollars for 6 million people now Singapore. The same number as Salon because they follow the rules of development for the last 50 years. What would it try to make we own rules?
And we get independence before then. We get independence 61, you say then get independence
65. Because as far as the colonists are concerned, Salon be more able to look after himself. Because the one they were not able to look after themselves, they gain independence later. Like Gambia 1965, because they don't be things they able to manage. So they don't be things say Singapore able manage.
So they looked at us and say, and that's why people in Gambia for a long time they can't university now.
Yes, because we've been supposed to be in a better position for manage. But the problem is when we take independence, we decide instead of the look waiting we don't make the country reduce side reach and now we can make them better, we decide to come up with our own rules. And all over Africa people can do that. For come up with their own rules about how economies they develop. And then we say the unfortunate not on basis in fact.
So that's why you're talking about one of the things that we there on Atonga for build awareness on the pillars them where it go take for make this country be a country where we all go proud of.
Yes, we get to go back to Lee Kuan Yew in basic admonition. He call in warning to we.
But you say okay, so no, you
know. Say certain rules and they know the rules, apply the rules, build you advantage on the rules and they, right? See how you can win in the system. Not try to replace the systems until we don't exist. Salon, the economy totally 2017 at $4 billion. Singapore at $300 billion. No so?
Yes.
For show you the benefits of me follow the correct rules for development, for do development. Nigeria, we know Nigeria also. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa. Nigeria over 150 million people. Then one whole economy. All in 150 million Nigeria man, they were waiting at 20 times, more than 20 times Singapore, the number of people. The one whole economy in 2017 at $400 billion. In other words, 6 million Singaporeans generate $300 billion and 150 million Nigerians only generate $400 billion.
It took 150 million Nigerians for generate 400 billion, and it takes 6 million Singaporeans for generate 300 billion. I wonder how you build that ratio. So not because they're not white man?
No, not white man, they're Asia man there. They're
white still.
They're not white, but they're yellow.
Now,
in fact, they get mixture of people.
The kind country where them grow up and where them build. Some nations are just positioned in a some way they're just bound to be able to for progress.
I say where the Englishman they left them, they worry if they're able to eat. All Singapore gets, Singapore are the size of the Western area. All they get a port where they are at independence. The port of Singapore, then a big shipping lane. I make the British and be one time for control the shipping. I know more than get. They don't get nothing. They not get iron ore. They not get bauxite, they don't get anything. All them get a pot of Freetown equivalent.
They don't get gold, they don't get nothing, they don't get none of
Dondo, then they say Dondo also. Dondo they don't get. Dondo, out of that Dondo day, then they build a $300 billion economy in 50 years, first world. And it take 150 million Nigerian man for build 400 billion. If they do the same as the Singaporeans, Nigeria, the economy right now, for be in the trillions.
Now, so what's wrong with we?
Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. We know the follow rules. The indiscipline, whether they complain but say we get a street. We get them in the way we govern ourselves as well. We get for follow rules. And we all sabi the basic rules. Make I take one very simple rule. We all level economics students teach we. Then say, if you want for make country develop, people they get for able to lend money from bank, use that money there for go invest in business, make extra money and pay the bank back. But if you have to do that, the money where they have to pay the bank not for be so much that they will go out of business. Well, for the last 50 years in most of Africa, the rate where company get for lend money for develop at 20 to 30% every year they get for give the bank. No country in the world not able to survive the economy like that. And the main reason why that's happening now because the government them in Africa they use so much of the money now the bank them that nothing not left for the private sector. So the private sector the little African they get for get them. They go pay so much money for get them because the government they borrow too much and they use the money for wasteful things them. Why not actually develop the country? Basic economics, they call them crowding out of private sector access to finance.
And so
if you do that, you kill the economy straight away.
And so it's Project Phoenix. You call this project where you introduce and build awareness for we want for share to this current government. You call them Project Phoenix. Why Project Phoenix? Because
in Greek mythology, the ancient Greeks them thousands of years when are the first thinkers about for one country, right? You got Aristotle and all them people there. Now the first thinkers them, right? Then get this mythological character what they call the phoenix where rise from disaster to glory. So in the same way, how we don't go on any disaster what they affect we, right? Economic disaster, political disaster, environmental disaster, and I tell you if we don't get we act together, they will keep on repeat. I'm sorry to say, if we don't get we act together, they will keep on repeat because they're not going to stop.
But you're still hopeful. But we could, guys. That's why you call it Phoenix, Project Phoenix. That's
the reason we make it hopeful. Is that we cut this vein here, which you get today. The same blood, not to black blood inside you, not to yellow blood like the Asians. The same blood we with man get in vein, now we get inside. The same blood we liquid you in people and get Chinese man in a Singaporean and in vein. Now the same blood. So we know for certain, and I know I don't work with them people in the environment. I know say individually, put me and you. Individually, we are as good as them. But now what kind of environment we not sabi out for? We like for creating new rules how to work as a society. Well, we get for forget all that now, and just stick to tried and tested rules of development for any country we don't develop. We see how we can adapt them to real situation we use them to develop. If we not do that, if we want to keep on the get nation by accident, we will get Boku accident because the definition of the nation by accident is that you accident prone. So me say now, look, get nation by design.
Nation by design.
We follow the tried and tested rules of national development, and we don't look at the salon context. We don't come up with 4 main issues. Them, we don't make so many mistakes for 50 years. And it's not easy for me to follow the Singapore example exactly because we don't make mistakes. Them. So I look at the situation and I say, okay, how will we stop the bleeding? How will they mend the wound? And then how will they make sure that we will move forward? And then at the 4 criteria where any government we take part in this country, I believe, say, if you have to do something today, even it's cleaning, if you have to decide for cleaning, if you look at them 4 criteria, they ask yourself, say, if you pass all the 4 tests. If you pass all the 4 tests, then you do them.
So let's look at the 4 tests. So you say them 4 tests, now we are able to apply across the board.
Yes.
Over the next 5 years.
And going beyond.
And beyond.
Yes.
Number 1, integrity, confidence, and trust. You say ICT, leadership, behavior change. Tell me about that.
Engine, car engine. Where they make them, they not make them make the engine run by itself. They make them make oil go inside it. Why? Now the oil they make the parts they move without they not crash and cause problem in the engine sees. And the same thing with the way the economy they run. You get the engine where they create prosperity, but you get the oil where they make sure say the engine work well. Whether oil day for the economy, not trust. Country where people are not trust themselves, like how we get acute low trust now. Nobody not trust anybody now because all man thinks they get sense pass all man is trying to cheat everybody from all levels. Country like that can't develop, it's not possible because the engine they seize all the time. So we get for change and start for rebuild because we get trust we are small. We don't lose all. Yeah, but you look at histories, I don't read the history of Salon going back to before independence. In all regions, we were honorable people, honorable cultures.
Now, how do you define trust?
The ability for, say, when I talk to you, and we don't agree with what they do, I know say you go do what you don't agree, you're not going to try to cheat in order to get advantage on me. That's certainty there. Because if I'm not certain, say you go do what you promise to do, then I get for protect myself. The mere chance of things where I get for protect myself, they cost money. And the more I get for use for protect myself.
I need for take lawyer now for sign agreement now because I can't trust you. Say if you promise, you go keep your promise. They add to the cost of
doing business. And the cost they go up and up to the point where some man go say I'm not able this cost to because the uncertainty too much. So the level of economic activity they drop. The less trust you get, and the engine is seized.
Outside trust loss, and how would they bring this trust come back in our society?
Well, the problem is, if me look at all the work I don't look at, going back, we get some wonderful research will be done of FBC in the 60s. Dr. Dixon Filer, right? I remember one people were writing on this. You see this problem is that even in the 60s. The problem is, I can always use biblical example. If thy left foot offendeth thee, cut it off. If thy right foot offendeth thee, cut it off. Your left hand offended thee, cut it off. You can still survive. Alright? But if your head offended thee, that's for cut it off.
And so you see that leadership?
The leadership since independence, school say talk me irresponsible.
Really?
Yes. Because now inside leadership, now then we get all the fat. We not get nothing to do with development. All they say outside the tie counter, they go eat grass. All the bad examples them.
That the leader then set them bad
examples. They set the bad examples, then the people at the bottom now not get choice but to follow because now dog eat dog what we
now there's an argument. Back to this argument
yes, sir.
Where they say now the people, the culture don't be built already, and the leader come out from the culture. So not to the leader make the culture, now the culture make the leader. Which you get against the argument today? It's really the people responsible.
It can happen that way, but it can also happen the other way. Now two-way street. You get situation where the people, of course, stronger cultures than where the leader be for misbehave will control them. But unfortunately, the kind of society we've been get at independence, we've been what they call polarized. We get different groups of different parts of the country where they fetch themselves. Right? So instead of they try for control the man within power, the people then where they support them, just say, okay, whatever you say, agree. Even though what you say not good for we all. So this divided society will allow the leaders they forget all things that way. If we can get more unity, people will say, no, this not look right to.
So fundamentally you say bad leadership.
Bad leadership will operate within a divided society and exploit the divisions of the society. Right? So that the checks and balances will stop them for you do things we're not right, no work. But at the same time, if we get good leadership, it can make me rise above the innate divisions, right? And will make me look now for do things better. But if you not get example from the top, me a governance person, not just at the national. I serve on many boards of directors, not just in the past in Sierra Leone. I don't serve in Gambia. Right now they serve in the continental level. Me a director of Shelter Africa, continental finance entity for the whole of Africa, owned by 45 African countries. I'm an independent director, right? At all levels. If the tone from the top, if the message from the top not right, you can't expect the rest of the organization will be effective.
Leadership
is critical.
Leadership.
Yes. It's critical.
Leadership. If one for build trust again, it has to start with our leaders.
The leadership therefore lead the way in behavioral change. Behavioral change therefore come from the top, then pass on to the rest of society easier. But you cannot expect the rest of society for change them behavior, for be more trustworthy when the people then way they above them not trustworthy, not work.
It's Dr. Dele Jones, development expert, and really they lay out a blueprint that we can apply as a nation. Now that we have the opportunity to get a new government, we make we reset the clock and begin all over again. And the first clause, the first point is enough for make we develop equal ICT. When integrity, confidence, and trust will forever for build. Stay with us. We'll give you the next 3 points when we come back.
With AfriCell Money,
AfriCell introduced AfriCell Money for the first time in Sierra Leone for free.
AfriCell Money, Mama, you no need for worry.
Now you can transfer money with your AfriCell line anytime, anywhere in Sierra Leone, free of charge. Yes, with the AfriCell Money service, you can buy mobile money and transfer it for free.
AfriCell has made sending and receiving money easy and affordable with your AfriCell line.
The AfriCell Money service enables you to have a money account on your AfriCell line where you can deposit and transfer money free of charge while sitting comfortably anywhere. So create an AfriCell Money account and start sending and receiving money. Please visit any AfriCell point of sale countrywide where you can also become an AfriCell Money dealer.
For more information, call 161.
AfriCell Money.
Welcome back. We dey talk about how we go make Sierra Leone great again. And it's not just the American great, but we believe that it's possible. And the guest today, that Dr. Dele Jones, development expert, we come for share some things them way. Even do 2013 with APC Lab 2 and share some things. Maybe then say some ideas then say we then say Norwich. In Norwich, maybe this is the time. But then it didn't take roots. They appointed you to the Constitutional Review Committee so that you can go share the idea then but it didn't work.
Well, because I realized that the people who were appointed will not be serious. If you know them, they do various things at the time. They even do things the way they for consult the committee, they're not consulting. I realized the agenda we then get and the agenda we members who they serve are two different things. And in that case, me a private man, private sector man. So I don't get time for waste. So I decided to make a wait. So say we get a resign January 2014 because I've been no say they're not going to accept any week out of the process. And as you see, they don't accept them at the end. So maybe don't see that already. I mean a man with it. I don't date long like the field. I just see how things they go. I get that little gift there and I get the experience and skills for able to project and see which thing they go. Right? We don't project. And I know say I get the energy for waste 2 years on a process where at the end I know say they're not going to take any interest in them. Right? And even the process itself had many flaws in terms of where it was organized. Right? So there were too many things wrong.
Okay.
So at that point I say make a step down and wait for a better time. And I hope the better time don't come.
So you hope say this is not better time?
Well, we go for try. Where there's life, there's hope.
So the first point you said you get for do with integrity, confidence and trust. We lost in our society.
Yes.
The cost of doing business, they go up amongst we and they undermine society.
Yes.
The second one, you say that one, you say trust na the lubricant.
Now the lubricant are the engine, are the oil.
So the next one you say na national competitiveness.
That are the engine.
So we for build trust, number one. Number two, build national competitiveness. What's in a national competitiveness?
Okay. The motor car now they talk about that's the general is what we use for all
Yes,
things.
yes.
Okay, the oil, now they make the engine work.
Trust.
The trust. Well, the engine where they move the car, the national competitiveness. Now a set of tools then, set of, if you want mechanic tools them, right, where we know say you go use for make this engine be super engine. Because you can either get engine for, I think they call them then new vehicles for them get a street now, keke or what?
Then keke.
Then keke, engine for that. You go know how fast you go with that also. But you can get engine for Prado. You know how fast that go. Now two different fast. So the tools where they make the right engine where okay go as fast as you want, that's what they call national competitiveness. They get certain rules and things that we for look for. Where you know for violate and certain area that we for look. Right?
When are for focus?
When are they for focus? And basically, what's happening now? The World Economic Forum, where me farm FJP done the work with for since 2012. Since 2012 we don't work with them.
Last salon feature on the national competitiveness.
Since 2012 every year. Now we introduce salon. Yes.
Is it still being done?
Yes. In fact, right now we do the survey for 2018.
What's our rank for 2017?
130 out of 137 countries, the bottom 6%. In other words, we engine will get right now. And for Keke vehicle, not for Prado. So if one for use Keke for travel from here, for go Monrovia, I think so you know the answer as to how it go possible and how long it will take. We need Prado engine and Prado vehicle. But right now Keke will get, and then we go around for go.
And so the engine for national competitiveness, the engine for moving forward economic development and with national competitiveness. Let's break it down. Now you talk about everybody knows now.
Yes.
But let's go back to national competitiveness. Break it down in the language where the common man go able for see and able for understand. What do you mean for national competitiveness? We ability for compete against
other countries,
Nigeria, Ghana, and
for attract investments, for make we safe prosperous. For make the money we go make next door country prosperous. Some of that money they can to we, right? And make we create things where other people for buy from we.
So with competitiveness, we ability for compete against nations.
We ability for compete and make prosperity of people so weak that we virtually not produce anything in this country. Because you didn't know when country competitive because they produce things and where other people, where the young people want for buy, and where other people want for buy. But I tell you, don't look around me. You go to the toilet now in this country. The toilet, all things inside the toilet, now bring them inside. If we want to make road, a company from outside, and get for bring for can make the road. Then they talk about it build airports. Now China will go find somebody who can make the airport.
Wow.
Where they want for dig, we are not common a grown. We be need for get some people for drive some vehicle them. Big, you know them big people them. We are not getting nobody in a way to drive them. They get them come on England, they get them first class travel way that them country one day they not travel that travel day. They been a can salon for can drive lorry because salon man not able to drive that lorry there.
So okay.
So
no,
you don't get the idea.
So I don't get the idea. So with ability for compete very low, and because of that, we they spend more for buying other people things than they spend than even we get for sale. And so as a result of that,
we not get nothing for sale today when I will make. So we have to buy all things from other people them. The only thing we will get for buy things from other people, I want to dig na ground. But even when they dig the thing na ground,
we know the refine them, we know the value.
Forget about the refine first. Even when they dig the thing na ground, now other person money we for bring come. Now other people them get for can do and for we so we for pay them serious money for can in our country because even when people not be digging na ground properly, because we not educate them well. We not train them well. So and training and development the human population are the core of the competitiveness because they're for the role is.
So human development, and so that another I'm
just at the core.
And you say the framework with the World Economic Forum agree. Now framework with the guide government.
Yes.
Who's part of the economy for invest?
Yes.
How much for invest because then don't able to evaluate the part of the economy where they give a bigger output or where they contribute more to GDP. And particularly they talk about how they develop with human capital.
Yes.
With human capital. So good for that. And the second point is so the first point. In this four pillar where they say now in they make the Phoenix project for Israel back from the ashes. Number one, integrity, confidence, and trust. We for begin from the leadership. Number two, you say national competitiveness. So
we for know the rules of national competitiveness, I for make sure say anything we will do, we get the maximum benefit for the country. Therefore, always what they do, check for see anything what they do, whether or not it will make you more competitive. If you want to build an airport, ask. This will make you more competitive or less.
So you want for know. So if you get $300 million, you want for say na airport, on a road, on a school, on a education, on a health.
You for assess.
You want for able for do that one day. And
which one they give with the biggest?
Which one they give the biggest
results?
And so you say this framework, they calibrate and tell you already say if you want to let this economy grow by 10%, now you have to for invest.
Yes. That's what they say. And then the beauty of this framework where they don't publish about all countries there, you see how the other man they do. and you're able to learn
You dey
from there as
compare
well,
with the other
and then you
ones.
go know if you dey make progress against other people there. Like for example, this project Phoenix say we had to win 130 out of 137 countries in competitiveness, right? By 2023, one for make we don't get structure, we don't get work together, such that we don't reach the top 90 countries.
Inside 5 years.
Yes, no, you see, competitive don't say you will be as wealthy as all of them. It means say you will don't get the ability to become wealthy.
Yeah,
So it will take we longer for we don't come up from far.
I know. Okay.
But when you get the ability to become wealthy, it means that you go in the right direction.
All right. Dr. Dele Jones, and the guest sitting at the studio with a nation by design. What do we need to do? We don't vote, we don't get election, new governments don't come. How do we make sure that in the next 5 years we not hold we job back and begin the doubt whether that been the right thing we do?
Correct.
I think we all for put one together and get the right framework. Don't go away. There's 2 more pillars where we need to share with you.
With AfriCell money, touch.
AfriCell introduced AfriCell Money for the first time in Sierra Leone for free.
AfriCell money, mama, you no need for worry.
Now you can transfer money with your AfriCell line anytime, anywhere in Sierra Leone, free of charge. Yes, with the AfriCell Money service, you can buy mobile money and transfer it for free.
AfriCell has made sending and receiving money easy and affordable with your AfriCell line.
The AfriCell Money service enables you to have a money account on your AfriCell line where you can deposit and transfer money free of charge while sitting comfortably anywhere. So create an AfriCell Money account and start sending and receiving money. Please visit any AfriCell point of sale countrywide where you can also become an AfriCell Money dealer.
For more information, call 161.
AfriCell money.
Welcome back. Nation by design and not by
Accident.
not by accident. So nation by design, and we don't need 2 things, them 2 pillars. Them number 1, integrity, confidence, and trust. If we lost in our country, forget it. Number 2, national competitiveness. Number 3, now this Phoenix 4-point pillars where we for make sure we make a country great again. Dr. Dele Jones, inclusive development.
Yes.
Where everyone wins.
Yes.
These are major points. These are major points. But just nail them for me.
Well, look, national competitiveness now the engine where they create the wealth, where they make a country rich.
Integrity not the engine oil.
Integrity now the oil where they make the engine work, right? But the fact that the country rich not makes all man go happy in the country, because it depends on how that rich is the spread in the country. Inclusive development say we forget a strategy about whether one for be America, for example, or one for be Scandinavia, Sweden, for example. Now the 2 extremes of that.
In America, you say 10% of
In
people get 90%.
In America, one of the biggest economy in the world, one of the richest in the world. But I think say you could know, and anybody who don't go there could know say some places in America where it's like some of we slum in Africa. The people then they suffer. Because in America, man bill say who that get for keep all thing, they not get for giving it to anybody. You get for asking whether that society want to live. Because they get consequences. Right? Then you in Scandinavia, they're equally rich as America.
But it's weird. It's weird.
But if you go to Scandinavia, you know they see slums. You know go get one person gets 50% of money in the country. Sometimes go get 5-10%, sometimes 20%. But the money spread more people are wealthy, and the gap between the rich and the poor much less. Now, the country for decide who sign that difference day from that what they
obviously in spread. The
yes.
one to one spread.
Where you don't decide.
The answer for.
Where you don't decide, who sign you want for day, then you strategy get for monitor for make sure say as you generate wealth, you also spread according to what you don't agree say and the fair way for your country. Because all country I know it's America, but me no go learn for time in America, me personally, because I believe say I like for time in a place where I look next door, the people them, not the people are afraid so can attack me because with trouble come, because then so they far from me that the one for can attack me cause problem. So you understand? I believe for sure.
So once national competitiveness to create wealth, in not the guarantee say the wealth will be equitably shared.
Yes, and also equally.
Equitably.
Equity and equality are two different things. Equality and communism, me not a communist.
So equality now for
A communism, well, no matter how you work, all man get the same. That's nonsense.
So how equity different?
Equity say limits for they allow the least person for go in society. But you know for put that limit they so high that you not get incentive for work. So you get for work at exactly how much the person at the bottom will need for get for make enough starve. Then you get the education, you get all the way you need for raising yourself. But if you don't want for raising yourself, they left who side left. And not in choice. But you know go lift some side and not work for. But you know the alarm for go so far down that in picking them, they will get good education, they will die before them 5-year-old, so in wealth go die in childbirth, all that go wrong.
So you call it inclusive development?
Inclusive development say we for carry with people with we, as we create the engine of prosperity, we don't agree how we use them for invest.
How would they do that? So how do they make sure so we get inclusive development?
Right.
Where everyone wins.
For example, if the country is very wealthy, instead of the left all the money for the rich people they forget, you go tax some of them and use them for developed schools. So the schools become better. And when the schools become better, you picking them where they go there, and the picking of all man, including the poor man. So you defend the clever picking and you get the clever picking when a poor picking, the opportunity for in one lifetime achieve as much as the rich man picking. So in fact, it's not matter how you born.
So that's one way.
Because you invest in education.
That's one way with the guarantee.
You invest in health.
Inclusive development.
Last week, I cry. On Facebook, one young man, must be in his 30s, saying we have died in a salon, childbirth. The percentage of people with the woman they will die at childbirth, now national crime. We know one of the. It's not, in fact, they say Salon are the most dangerous country in the world for making you be an expectant mother. It is unacceptable. In an inclusive growth society, we will make sure say we invest enough so that we go tell like Japan, because in Japan virtually nobody know they die in childbirth. It's very rare. Whereas in Salon the risk so high that the most dangerous society on earth to make woman born picking.
So that's the third pillar.
So inclusive development say we not going to allow anybody to be disadvantaged by birth. If we get the opportunity for work hard and achieve.
And practically in Sierra Leone again, just for rare code is saying practically in Sierra Leone, the way we don't know they take place now for make sure say we tax system now such that when government collects their money, then how would they invest them? We
invest in society. Forgive equality of opportunity. We call it equality of opportunity so that no matter who say you born, no matter whether you papa be, you mama be, once you go through that system there, you're able to achieve as much as you want to achieve as your ability to get.
In your education now, in health
in housing,
and whatever they're able to do. So
whatever.
Third point. Now let's go to the fourth one. Final one. The last point within the pillar in this operation, the Project Phoenix. Now, constitutional reforms. I know 2013, when we started this is what we were talking about.
Yes.
That the tension now with politics will continue for be a recurrent theme. We ground the country from 4th of February, maybe even before that, because maybe from January, 9 businessmen and therefore import, because the uncertainty in the political life so high that from December last year, January, people stop for imports.
Correct.
Because the insecurity, instability, and potential for violence, we always did our elections there, so rife that we hold the country
to ransom.
Tension. And you're saying the way we solve this.
Well, it was past that, you know. It was past that. You did talk about the immediate preparation for the election, right? Preparation for the election, right? Okay, let's say for 1 year we don't more or less get a lot of people don't invest better. But if you work that out, you realize out of every 4 years or 5 years, we lost 1 year completely. One
election.
But then the system we get right now is such that because who that win and get all power, the one that we lost, they get incentive for undermine them. Because if they don't undermine them, they will come back and get all power. Because now winner takes all. But basically, the power where the constitution gets, all the money that the country they can free from, and at the central government and the whole thing. You know, local government not the work since Chaka series dissolved them in the 1960s. Effective not the work, right? All the money they can free term. So if anybody wants anything,
people can free term, can compete. And the person will be president.
Nine get power over all of that.
Nine they administer the budget.
Yes.
Nine they say waiting for go for education, journey.
And because the country not competitive, we not get wealth, nothing else, we not produce nothing. In other countries, they're nobody not busy elect our government. In fact, not even our government, a poor man. Because the amount where they pay them and the amount where they get out of government small compared to what they get the private sector. Right? The Prime Minister of Britain, they pay I think £100,000 per year. But private sector man in England, they work millions. You understand?
So they want them within our government, now the most poorly paid.
Now the most poorly. You don't go there because you want to go serve. You know they go there for make money. Because the economy big. But the economy is small because we're not competitive. So the only way they for make money in this country, now who side the tax they come out, who side they pay collect money at central government. And who that not they do?
Not they get nothing. And so you say the one with the opposition, they are invested in undermining the one with.
If they're not undermined, they're not the win the next term. And if they not win, then
the because it's winner takes all.
It's winner takes all.
And so how do we fix this to a constitutional process?
Well, you get for realize, say, this constitution I will call cost cutting because they affect all the other three pillars then. As you say, they undermine we competitiveness because they make the economy smaller, companies work, they cannot generate business for almost month for year, several times and able to do their work properly. They undermine trust because people are not trust themselves, they affect themselves for get power, right? And undermine inclusive development because now kapu economics to depend. So if you realize where you go all over the place, we know the share, even a little bit we get, not the share well. I did not taxi at the camera this morning. The taxi driver tell me say in an APC man, but wait to make people not vote for APC it's because the big man they not get enough. So maybe so far. Me taxi this morning. We know they take people up as we go along. So these politics they affect all the other three pillars. If you don't reform them, none of the other three not the work. In fact, you know, if one of the big things we also get for doing the Project Phoenix and for make all parties all private sector, all NGO sector have what you call a national compact agreement for the next 5 years. Which means they support this government, provided they follow this Project Phoenix framework. But the only way all man go support this government is if people no say when they support them, they're not going to assault him.
And so
you get for actually change the constitution.
Give me a brief idea. So you get for change the constitution.
You get for change the constitution for take power from Freetown to the regions.
You get for take power from Freetown
to the regions.
Can go to the regions.
So that basically the power in this country will be the government of Kailahun, the government of Konadugu, the government of Putloko, the place where they run affairs, they are the main power. Who that the dig rutile na the south they pay tax to that government today.
So you say then and so na the district where then
the district where the regional government the government they collect tax NRA will get the tax affairs they will collect tax they give to the regional government, then the regional government will send a small amount, 1/3 at the most, to the central government for central services. But they use that money for development itself. Then the central government had used part of that money now for support 10 regions that we not get, for making themselves able to come forward, right? But basically, what's happening then is that all this fet get for them because fet not get for them to come free to go, nothing not the free to come fet for.
All man in the regions.
All man get
because then they multi-ethnicity. Tell me again. This is something we dealt with the last time. Multi-ethnicity. Now it feed
into the fet for power. Yes, because you know you can regional alliance system. The Northern Alliance, the Southeastern Alliance, we formed around certain core ethnic groups. Them. None of that get for day because in this situation.
And the economics. Now in the drive they want but because scarcity they
you know people like they say crazy people. They're not crazy.
They're not crazy.
In a real field of economic strategy, we say now people are logical. Because if they're not doing what they do now, they'll be lost.
So it's logical.
One man died recently with him Nash, about 2-3 years ago, on Think will be mentioned. It came out with a very big insight. They call it the Nash equilibrium. We say if you're not a group where you compete with other group or something, right? And you know say if you not support your group, the other group they win. But then you go full enough for support your group. because you not go lost.
Yes,
for
no,
sure.
no. So it's a logic. It's very logical.
It's very
And
logical.
so let's just wrap up again. We know say this is not just the beginning of this still work for one over and over and over again. So you say the reason why you're doing this, the inclusive national conversation for constitutional,
Economic and cultural competitiveness. Now, for make this country great again, as you say,
Great again.
And constitutional reform is at the heart of that because it covers all the other areas. There. In fact, the Constitutional Reform Committee will start again this year.
And you say,
within this
if
year,
really
and
serious,
yes,
we'll start the constitutional review
immediately
in 18 months.
within 18 months, come with a proper constitutional review. We will go agree, vote on, and then all man gonna say by 2023 that the next election under the new system.
Now, with the power we don't put in the presidency, who would want to give that power there up and say, oh, now when I will turn? Now, they can ask you now for make we can say see that power they go to the union.
No.
What incentive should the central government get, the SFA government get, for people to listen to this?
But there are two reasons. One, we're not just up now, so you get the 5 year now, so you get the power, and you use that power there for sure. The easy way you waste our government and for develop the country. Use that for develop the country. But then, a leader is somebody we supposed for the seat tomorrow.
If we for Sifa.
And if you see tomorrow, you know, say, let's not get for CAM 2023, 2028. Because this system not go for.
But why should they care if they're okay? Why should the leader
But then
care?
I believe say every now and then every country they get leader we want for being in Nkrumah.
We want for being in Nkrumah.
And this I tell you, the leader in Africa
Really?
they implement successfully a system where they make Africa man left for faithful power and focus on development. Now leader day history book.
It's
Across the world.
Now, make I ask you.
They go talk. People that go to can African copy. People that go to run after them for give advice. When you retire, they go to pay them. You know how much they pay for people them for give talk.
Dr. Jones.
Mm-hmm.
We not short-term people there. Put women and pocket lights in there. Let posterity they deal with himself. What incentive? Why should a leader where they sit down today? Now imagine like a situation we say, well, APC don't spend their own 10 years, they don't do their own. Don't can't sit down at the seat. And now they can't tell me say.
Interesting you for say that.
And go. Why should?
You say we are short-term people, but I don't know this new leader well. Right?
No.
But one thing I know is that in not short-term. This man, there were 20 years will come back like this seat. They don't carefully wait for 20 years. So you get long-term vision. Use the same thing.
It's not just about him.
Agree.
You know the forces where they move around politics. Now, some man will sharpen them out. Better one.
Yes.
The forces around the leader.
Agree. But when the leader get conviction, that critical difference that.
When the leader
get conviction.
Can one leader ever change this nation?
It's been done.
In the midst of all this,
in history,
the bad culture.
In history, yes, we don't see him.
And it's possible.
De Klerk of South Africa, now one leader where he reached presidency, changed South Africa and make it democratic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's possible.
Gorbachev of the Soviet Union, one leader, he changed the communist system.
So it's possible. You know what you say possible.
Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, where he gets into power, the country went in after 30 years. It was first war. Lee Kuan Yew as a vision. Now this man, and I believe say Sierra Leone says the other advantage we'll get is that we not start from scratch. We don't get 50 solid years of serious problems. Civil war, political problem, economic problem, natural environment problem. You ask me why people are for change. Well, I think say we not to country we just create yesterday. We don't go through.
50 years.
We get 50 years of painful situation.
And that should be an incentive for us.
Well, I think say if not to incentive, I'm not sure what will be incentive. Because we don't get civil war, we don't get multiple political crises, we don't get much power than we were at independence, we don't get public health disaster, Ebola, we don't get natural environment disaster, many of which of these things were predictable and in fact predicted. Now, I don't predict Ebola in particular, I predict public health problem before it happens. I not predict landslide, but I predict environmental
all of that's an incentive for make sure say when they are against the wall, they're not saying nothing for go pass you
precisely
bounce back up.
And everybody affected by this. So it no matter who that you be, politician, APC, SLPP, when the mountain for Dom, you know the look whose part you be. When the economy crash, you know the look whose part you be.
Now we always suffer.
When you get an Ebola type public health disaster, and not discriminate between level, if you're a doctor, if you're a carpenter, if you're a president, so we all get a vested interest in fixing the situation. And if we want to fix them properly, we have to follow the rules of development. Like when you always tell me in Africa, say certain rules they for develop, do you have it? Not creation. Follow the rules.
So 4 things within this project Phoenix. Number 1, it says ICT. Integrity, confidence, and trust. From the leadership.
From the leadership, yes.
Number 2, you got to deal with national competitiveness.
Certain rules of how to create wealth. Inclusive development. For make sure we share that wealth in a way where they allow everybody to come up together. I call it everyone wins.
And number 4, now constitutional reforms.
Constitutional reform
where they move power
is essential for any one of the other things for work. And basically means say instead of they get one power in the country, we get for take power to the regions. Right? So nobody knows for fight for power and freedom because all man busy developing
so
region.
Come 2023 elections.
We forget confederal elections where basically the election at the region and one election you need.
I didn't pick people.
I don't pick on man now. Then
it's a very lean central government.
The central government.
The power they did in the regions.
Yeah, the region, the power.
People common ethnically.
Arguments not get for the effects, not get for the.
And if the arguments they say not to ethnic argument, the ethnic dimension not go there.
And people are going to know themselves.
Dr. Jones, like I said, we'll just fire this thing for a start. We would be able to continue to have this discussion, but thank you so very much for joining us again today.
It's a pleasure, Joabas. Thank you very much.
Well, that has been my guest today on the show, Dr. Dele Jones. They share things for just build an awareness and generate a conversation where we're supposed to forget in Sierra Leone. We started this in 2013, just after the 2012 elections. We all see how the constitutional discussions will go. It was grounded halfway, it came by the side, so that at the end of the day, the conclusions of the Constitutional Review Committee ended up not being, even though it was a national consensus where everybody put together, the white paper with them generated at the end of the day, not reflect in a wholesome way within the Constitution Review Committee being set. We get an opportunity again back as a nation for able for me to come together with the new president and the SLPP government for drive this, for able for think about the things that we don't share and look at the things that we need for do at this nation so that come 2023 we will not go back to the same tensions where we depend and make sure say we can lay a country where everybody can get say we get an equitable share. NADI regions and looking at them 4 pillars there: build integrity, build national competitiveness, and make an inclusive development for everybody, and through redistribution, tax versus services, then we'll go implement, and then finally constitutional reforms. We'll start a conversation and we'll continue this conversation offline and make sure we're able to build the Sierra Leone that we'll all be proud about and possibly, like we say, make Sierra Leone great again. This has been Nation by Design, and on behalf of our sponsors, AfriCell, A Call to Business, Ministry of Youth Affairs, National Youth Commission, and the AYV Media Empire, and for Seka, we guest webinar today between our studio, Dr. Dele Jones. I want to say, let's keep building, let's keep working on this nation so that we don't have a nation by accident. We will have a nation by design. God bless you.